So right now we've got Vinay waiting in the background there.
Yep.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
And so
Can you hear us all the way from Hamilton? Can you hear us?
Yes, against the rumbling noises of the clouds here.
Oh, right. Yes.
so is there a volume that we can just go a little bit louder?
And the other thing I'll do, let's just pop it full screen here.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you want to turn the slur of lights so it's a bit easier to see?
Yeah.
So perhaps while we're just getting this fine-tuned, for those of you who've never met Vinay before, this is Dr. Vinay Karanam, and Vinay came to Upper Hutt SeniorNet as a volunteer way back just before COVID hit us. And Vinay volunteered to come and help with local technology, the digital, being a tutor, and for quite some time he worked with Stu together, answering technical queries, helping people. Beryl in particular can vouch for his patience, skills, and kindliness. And so, as I mentioned before, Vinay and I, through SeniorNet, had an idea that during COVID we would set up an online program so that people could continue to meet and talk and communicate with each other while we were in the COVID lockdown. And so for 2 years we offered that service through SeniorNet, and Vinay presented hundreds and hundreds of sessions to people all around the country while they were in their own homes. And just as a for example, we had people who, there was a chap who volunteered to take people to hospital, and while he was waiting for people, he'd be sitting in his car with nothing to do. And so we would see him online using his phone in his car to listen to the conversation. And on another occasion, a regular participant had to go to hospital. And so he sent a message saying, I'm sorry, but I've got to be at the hospital for a checkup. Next thing we know, the participants see him sitting in the hospital bed, having injections, the nurse coming in and checking him out.
While having a session on.
All the while he was participating in the session. And later, he gave us a presentation on the digital equipment that is installed in his heart as the pacemaker. So, that's the kind of interesting talks that we have. And we also have sponsorship from Chorus. And that means that from time to time, Chorus volunteers come along and talk to us about technology. And one of the best sessions we had last year was the history of glass. Because glass fiber is used to create the fiber. So anything and everything could be the topic. And so Vinay is going to talk to us about a topic today which has been in the news just recently, and I do believe that some of you may have seen the article about AI. So Vinay, over to you.
Thank you, Heather. Thanks for the kind words, and I can't express my joy seeing wonderful people from Upper Hutt. That's where my interaction with lovely people of senior sector began. So nice to see Graham, Ryvan, Beryl, Carol, Janet, Stu, Keith, Mark, William. Lovely. Literally, Kathy is there. A few others probably who are new to SeniorNet Upper Hutt I have not met before. So it's always a pleasure to see you all. Like Heather said, artificial intelligence is making ripples today, where it makes our day-to-day tasks very easy. So one of the biggest tools that is making news today, rather breaking news today, is ChatGPT. So I'll very quickly go through the process of how you could sign up for the ChatGPT and what are the things that it can do and what are the typical things it can't do, right? Uh, of course, this is something which is many of the organizations are still researching and a lot of business opportunities associated with it. But currently, we'll be limited to the technical application as a common user like you and me, who could make use of this tool to get some information and probably help us do things better. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how these things work. All right. I hope you can see the screen. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So in the Google Chat, Google search or any other search engine, if you type in what is known as OpenAI or ChatGPT, right? So you'll come across this page, ChatGPT or OpenAI, right? This ChatGPT is the product developed by OpenAI, all right? So now I simply click on this button. And as you can see, it talks to you about what ChatGPT is. It's optimizing language models for dialogue. It's basically a language AI-based tool. All right. So I'm going to click on try ChatGPT, and it will ask you to either log in or sign up. Right. So if I click on sign up, either you can sign in through your Google account directly, sign up, or continue with your Microsoft account, or by simply putting your email address. All right. So, and once you put it in, it will continue and ask. Let's do that here. So it will ask you to create a password. So as you're aware, when you're creating a password, you should always have a password which is long and strong. Needs to contain at least 8 characters with special characters included. It needs to be as random as possible and with special characters and numericals, mix of uppercase letters and lowercase letters. All right. So this is something which you already know. So this password we create and then we click on continue. What it does is it sends a verification email onto your registered email. All right. And once it is verified, you can then start using it. All right. So let us jump right into the other screen where, you get into the usage of it. All right. Hope there are no questions how to sign up yourself for the OpenAI tool or ChatGPT. All right. Are there any questions?
Yeah, we're still seeing the verify screen.
Yeah. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is show you how ChatGPT works, right? Now we have seen how the sign up process works. Now I'm going to show you how we can, once you have signed up, how you can use that. All right. Okay. So I'll click on ChatGPT. It comes in and then You sign in through your username and password, which you have created in the previous step. All right. Now, ChatGPT has, these are the typical capabilities. Okay. So remembers what user said earlier in the conversation. So it's basically self-trains itself. It has the access to information. It is trained. What are the limitations? Not every time the information that is provided to you is a correct information. Occasionally, it can give you incorrect information. All right. And it has got very limited knowledge after 2021. All right. So it has been trained till 2021. So the big, let's say, news or moments that have happened after 2021, it might give you some limited information. It may not give you a full detailed information. All right. Now, let us start a new chat. Just click on this new button here on the top left-hand side. New chat. All right. And I'm going to ask a question. Okay. What is AI? All right. And AI it starts writing you the answer. AI stands for artificial intelligence, which refers to development of computer system that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and language translation. So like that, it has given you a good gist of what AI means. All right. So let's say we recently had, Mark and Keith will be quite interested in this. So let's say very recently there was a cricket match that went through. So I'm going to say, what is the analysis of that cricket match? Okay. And here we will see the limitation of OpenGI AI, like I said. Okay. What is the analysis of 1999 Cricket World Cup? All right. So it can tell you what has happened before 2021. All right. But after 2021, it has limited knowledge that I'm going to demonstrate. But right now you can see. So 1999 Cricket World Cup, what happened, when it happened, who won, okay, and how Australian captain Steve Waugh had a very good strategic view about how he wanted to make his team win and all that. All right. So that way, you can get gist of the information in few seconds. Okay. Now, if I ask you analysis of Australia versus India test match in 2023, and you will see the reply. I'm sorry, but my knowledge cutoff date is 2021. So it cannot give you any information that, or it will give you limited information after 2021. All right. So this is how good. Now, if I ask it, what is a good Android phone I can purchase? All right. So best Android phones, depending on specific needs. So it is going to list few of the very good Android phones that you can purchase. All right.
So Vinay,
Yeah.
while that one is scrolling through with the 10 best phones, this cannot be printed out at the moment, can it?
Not directly, but there is always a way out. Like whatever is the answer, you can simply highlight it, drag it by your computer or on the phone, and use copy paste, and you can put it on any of the Word document and print it. Yeah, I'm going to share my entire screen to show you how things work. All right. So you are looking at my entire screen now. So I'm going to simply open a Word document or any other tool for that matter. All right. And simply paste this. You see? And now I can print it off from here. All right. Very easy. So I can go here and say print, and I can choose what my printer I need and simply print it off. All right. That's a good question. Now, I'm going to show you that you can be very specific about your budget as well. All right. I can say Android phones under $200 in New Zealand. And it will be, yeah. So it gives you plenty of options like this. So which are under $200. That way it gives you good information. See, at the end, we need to be mindful that this is just artificial intelligence tool, which helps your life to be better and easy. It can't take decision for you. All right. You will have to take this information, make a search on your own, and try to get as much information as possible, and then make a decision. All right. So yeah.
So tell us about why is this different to just going on Google and asking the same question?
Correct. That's a very good question. So I'm going to show the merits of ChatGPT over Google in first leg. And in the next leg, I'm going to show the limitation of ChatGPT and when you probably need to use Google search. All right. So first, let us look at the merit of ChatGPT and why this is a better tool compared to Google search, how it can help you better. All right. Now, I'm looking for certain information like what are the tools to automate, or rather, I will say, 1 second. I'll say, what are the tools to edit picture online for free? Now you see, ChatGPT comes up with gist of information which are absolutely well researched, refined, and easy to use. Okay, it gives you a very specific information rather than giving you a wealth of information, which again needs for you to make some search and all that. All right. Now, as you can see, there are tools like Canva, Photo, BeFunky, PicMonkey, Photopia. So these are very good tools that you're getting, that you straight away from the information. All right. Like, for example, how does earthquake happen? Okay. So this gives you a very crisp and clear answer of how earthquake happens and what are the typical things that you need to do while earthquake happens and how you can keep yourself safe. Very straightforward answer. In juxtaposition, if we are looking at a Google search, all right, and say same thing, free tools for photo editing online, and it comes with wealth of information. Now you have absolutely no idea of what to use. Like there are some information like Photo, Canva, all that information which was provided with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Raywin's just saying that basically that just tells you where to find something.
correct.
It's not giving you the analysis of it.
No,
Yeah.
you
Correct.
can be able to figure out which one you really want.
Mm.
It's like
Yeah.
Google can do the answer to something
Yeah,
and give you all at the same time.
correct.
You do in Google like 28 times 3. It
Yeah.
gives you the answer, but it gives you a virtual calculator as well,
Yeah.
in case you want to do something else along those lines.
It will
Absolutely.
probably do a
Now,
lot of
let us
edits
take a
as
specific
well.
example.
Yes. Yeah.
And you've got these big wigs trying to get to the top now. The companies have got
Yeah. Let's take a
promotion.
very specific example. If you are, let's say, a traveling, enthusiast and like to travel, all right? I'll say, a 10 days itinerary of, let's say, Japan. Okay. So you'll get plenty of information that, which may not be absolutely relevant to you. You'll get information, lots of information. So you need to further refine your search. Alternatively, what happens in ChatGPT, if I tell that I like, to visit snow-capped mountain and see cherry blossom, give me a 10-day itinerary to Japan. And it will happily give you, where I can see all the snow-capped mountains and cherry blossoms. It can very simply, arrive in Tokyo, check into your hotel, explore the city, Shibuya crossing. It gives you wonderful and nice information from the internet. So it is suggesting Mount Fuji as I like snow-capped mountain. So like that, it nicely gives me the 10-day itinerary, which will suit my interest. All right. So finally, we are going from Kyoto to Hiroshima. Now Hiroshima to Miyajima Island. And
tomorrow, that'd be
Yeah.
great, wouldn't it?
and we are now just departing from
Hey,
Japan.
How much does that cost?
Yeah,
Yeah. This will do travel agents
out of business.
out of business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and if you are a gardening enthusiast, and let's say there is a particular plant that you don't know how to water it and how to take care of it, you can get advices from here. Let's say I have let's say Beryl's favorite plant, and she loves it when I say that, rhododendron. All right. Plant. I want to know when to water and how much sun to give. All right. And it will nicely tells you rhododendrons and what kind of watering you should be doing, how often you should water.
Watering, yeah.
So how often you should water them, and how much sun exposure it needs. So it gives you all that information. Okay. So in hot weather, we need to frequently water the soil, keep the soil moist, and too much sun exposure can cause the leaves to get yellow and lead to leaf spot. So it needs medium and all this. So it gives you very good information and very quickly, very precise. All right. So this is how you can very easily get information, and including recipes. I think Kathy here will appreciate, like, other day when I was hosted by Kathy and Peter at their place, they made wonderful apple pudding, and I became instant fan of that. So if I want to know how to prepare apple pudding, of course, it will not be as good as Peter's recipe, but I'll always get some insights into how to prepare an apple pudding. Okay. Recipe for apple pudding, and it gives you step by step all the ingredients that you need. All right. As you can see, this much apple, this, all that. And it also gives you step by step procedure of how to make a very good apple pudding. All right.
Vinay, do you need to type this in, or do you speak into the device?
Currently, it has got only texting with computer, but on mobile phone, you have got the speaking as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and there is upgrade to Plus, which gives you additional features. So for $20 a month.
So this is the free version that you're showing us at the moment.
Correct.
Okay, so Vinay, ask it to turn it into a song.
A song about
Yep.
So what am I asking, Heather?
Turn this recipe into a song.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, let's sing it to you.
So it says, peel and chop your apples just right. Add in sugar and cinnamon, make it all bright. Mix in flour and melted butter. Oh, so sweet. Baking powder and salt can't be beat. And there is chorus and all that. It is nicely giving you.
All right.
Vinay, could you ask it to do the same thing, but in pirate
pirate.
Turn it
language?
into pirate language.
Okay. So this is pirate themes. Peel your apples, chop them real fine, add in sugar, cinnamon, make them all shine. Mingle in flour and melted butter. Baking butter and salt, a recipe for me and you. And all that. So there is chorus as well for that particular theme. So yeah. So this can be very interesting way of interacting, and like this is a chat bot, so you can nicely interact with it and have fun with it, especially for beating isolation and having wonderful information. So learning happens, all that happens simultaneously. Now, just to give a comprehensive side of this, there are certain things that this is not capable of doing. For example, I want to get the latest NZ weather update. Okay.
Yeah.
So it immediately tells me that it does not have access to current weather information, and it is training till 2021, and it does not give any information about the latest weather. Now, the same thing when it comes to Google, if I say latest weather update NZ, and it tells me immediately how are the things in Wellington. Okay. So
Right.
yeah.
But if it's a past weather event, it would know about it because it's before 2021.
Yeah. That's right.
For what was the weather like in Brisbane, 21st of February 2004?
Yeah.
Try that one and see what it comes back with.
What is the weather like in Brisbane
Yeah,
in 2004?
yeah, 21st of February.
So 21st of February, 21st February 2004, weather in Brisbane. So it does not give that information about on that day. But if I ask that same information here on Google, we might get. So it tells you that Brisbane sweats in record heat wave in 2004. So this, and it's recorded a temperature of 41.2 degrees Celsius.
Mm.
So these are the,
So Vinay, for education, what are the implications of this for learning in schools?
Yeah. So learning in schools would help them get access to lots of information precisely that will help them, do their self-study and in a more efficient way, rather than, getting access to certain information which might be little harmful for them, or, it can be age restricted and all that. So with this, it's quite safe. If some questions are asked, it might even decline to answer. So that way they will get specific information and learning becomes fun. So this is just like um, a tutor who can give specific answer to a question in a very friendly and very concise manner.
So what would you say then about schools and universities who are trying to ban this tool?
Yeah, like every technology has its own limitation, and it's a matter of policy that few of the universities and school they're doing this. And like I said, every technology has its own limitation. So because if some student is asked to write an essay, let's say on let's say a donkey or an elephant or something like that, so this can easily prepare an essay for you. So that way, it gives ready answer that might also be detrimental to the students. That way the genuineness of creativity does not pour out. So it's a double-sided sword. So it is always every technology needs to be used very cautiously, how it can fit into one's requirements nicely without diluting the underlying principles there.
Yeah. Vinay, will it also have access to pictures and other types of illustrations, or is it just purely text?
It is mostly text, but if I say some pictures of elephant, so let's try and see how it helps. So as it says, it is a text-based AI language model, and it cannot display images, it cannot talk to you, it cannot recognize your speech and all that. So there are limitations that, that probably, if I say pictures of elephants in Google, I'll get wonderful pictures, that I can use of. So that way, there are limitations of this ChatGPT. At the same time, there are things that it can do wonderfully well that, it can be better compared to Google search engine or Bing search engine for that matter, certain aspects.
Okay, so we're up to 20 to 3. Does anyone have any final questions on this topic? Because this is a very big topic, and we could certainly follow up again, with a sort of part 2 to this. But any final questions of Vinay at the moment?
It's been a very good demonstration. Thank you, Vinay, for making it happen.
Wonderful, thank you. And I love to see you all in coming coming days, and interact often and learn from each other and keep the enthusiasm in technology going, and keeping ourselves more confident and more trusting with technology, so that our lives can be improved and refined.
Vinay, there's just one thing that I should have said before. Can you just show everyone how to sign up for NZ Hangouts online, please?
Oh, lovely, thank you. So if you go into any browser, all right, and simply type in nzhangouts.online. So do not worry if there are any mistakes, because if there are any mistakes, it will happily take you to the search engine like this, where you can happily search for our website. So nzhangouts.online is the name of the web portal. So right on the top, as you can see, and there is a register button, as you can see. So if you click on this NZ Hangouts .online, it tells you what we are. Okay, there is a register button right at the top. So what is in it for the participants? All right, if you click on this button, it will tell you how as a participant you can do.
NZ Hangouts Online.
Can you hear this?
Madiketi Online Trust of New Zealand presents NZ Hangouts to improve your digital skills. Do you want to have fun? Learn some new tricks and new ways of doing old tricks. To stay updated on all your digital skills. Learning digital skills online has never been this easy. While interacting online from the comfort of your home. Learn some new hobbies, how to stay safe online, where to find services, how to monitor your health and where to find lots of free stuff. Access all these services for free from any device across the globe. In the two-way interactive online sessions, only on nzhangouts.online. Please visit www.nzhangouts.online today and register for free.
All right, so let us understand how to register on this site. So if you go on to nzhangouts.online, click on register button, and it will ask you for some simple information like your first name, let's say, Beryl, last name Barrett, okay, email ID, okay, I'll just say dummyemail@.com just for this. So you enter your email ID, where you need, the password and all that. So you create your password, okay, and you create your username, which you like how you it needs to be displayed to others. Let's say, let's say Garden Buff Beryl. That's the name I want to be known to others. All right. So you could describe yourself how you like. Let's say I love gardening, and I am 90 years old to be.
Beryl's frowning.
to be. and profile picture, you can add your profile picture. This is optional. All right, all this information is optional, and you can see what are the terms and condition and privacy policy if you like to, and then click on register. That's it. Very simple and easy process. Okay, sorry, this email, if taken, it seems so. Dummy email 2020. All right, and very easy process, less than 30 seconds, and it will be registered. So here comes few of the preferences. These are optional, by the way, so that like ChatGPT, we have developed our own AI tool, which helps us know what are your likings, so that we can help you provide that information. Like, where are you from? What is your age group? All right. You don't give the specific number, but just your age group and location, like where are you from, like Upper Hutt and all that. And what are the things that you like to work with? What are the devices you have? Okay. What is your current level of digital journey as per your understanding? How often you go online? Like that, some simple information, so that we can understand your preferences better. Okay. Either you can fill in or simply say, take me to the dashboard. All right. And it will take you to the dashboard, where in the calendar, you can see what are the upcoming sessions that are there. As you can see, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, we do a lot of sessions. Like Tuesday, 2 o'clock, Wednesday, 2 o'clock, Thursday, 2 o'clock, every 2 o'clock. Okay. So explore and discover. On Wednesdays, we do question and answers. On Thursdays, we do one skill up. So like that, we have different programs. So these are the upcoming sessions. So if you click on them, it will tell you how to join. So the joining link is provided. You can simply click on it and join, or you can copy it to your calendar so that you don't miss this session. All right. Now I'll go back to dashboard, and there is a forum where you can go in and you can ask questions. You can interact with other members. So currently we have 29 users on this portal. All right. So like that, you can go in and interact with other members. All right. Now, if you like to make a presentation, you can use this and schedule a presentation of your choice. Okay. If you want to check our library, you can go in and you can watch the previous sessions that we have delivered. All right. So this is how this beautiful program you can enjoy about. All right. So very easy to register. Takes less than 30 seconds for you to register. You just need to have your email ID with you. That's all, nothing else. And from there on, we do online sessions every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays at 2 o'clock. You can tune in. So it's not mandatory to come in every day. Whenever you got time, you can just tune in and we'll talk about some nice technological topic every day.
Thank you very much, Vinay. That's absolutely super.
Thank you.
And great to see you. And on behalf of everyone,
thank you very much, and all the very best. I'll look forward to seeing you all, in coming days.
Thank you.
I wish it was a bit closer, eh? Hamilton's a bit far away, just not right. Not in this way.
Yeah, is there a way that, because at the back we couldn't see anything.
Shall I end the session, Heather?
Is there any
Yeah.
way that can be, is there